Hello and welcome back to another Dune Awakening video. This round we have some juicy news from the team, and at the same time it is Gamescom week, so we got some cool stuff, and at the same time we have some free update. All right, I want to use this word free update, and at the same time, we have a paid DLC update, our first proper paid DLC update. Okay, so before we begin, like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and help this channel grow. And let's dive into the Chapter 2 free update, and of course, the Lost Harvest DLC. So let's start off with the DLC price tag. It is at $12.99. For those who did not get the season pass, it will be released on September 10. Exciting! I'm actually very exciting for the paid DLC, but at the same time, there is a small little question looming in general in everyone's mind. Is it pay to win? I don't know. Looking at Conan Exiles. Okay, first thing first, I'm basing some of the experience for Dune Awakening No, I'm actually basing a lot of Dune Awakening. No, the experience for Dune Awakening from Conan Exiles. Okay, straight up. And it's technically not pay to win. Technically. Okay, but we want to judge it differently for this. And let's get into it. Okay, so chapter 2 free update, that's always good. Main story update should always be free, and that's it, right? Because you paid the main game to begin with, so anything has to do with the main story, it has to be free straight up. Like the Lost Harvest DLC is an optional quest, side story, so that's okay. All right, to me that's okay, but we are getting a paid vehicle. Now that makes some people not so happy. To me, I'm still in the borderline of maybe not. We want to know how good this little trike. No, it's not a trike. This this reminds me of Twisted Metal. That's for sure. First one is Twisted Metal. Second one is Star Wars, and I'm sure there's lots of meme out there already with this um unicycle thingy thing. Okay, before we dive into the DLC, we want to know what is free for us. Chapter 2 free update. So we get a this is normal, all right. Basically, you can re-customize your character, which is nice, and we want to see how they want to do this for the game itself. Do we have a small little backstory on why you can change your character appearance or something like that, or is it a extra service? You know what, I want to see a tiny little story, like a short little explanation, like why you can change your character. That would be cool, right? Like cosmetic surgery and whatnot, because I think there is somewhere that they say that you can go to Sook doctors and they telex you something, then you can modify your appearance. So yeah, I want to see at least a short little quest line. That would be nice. Okay, so that's that. Let's see, new locations, meet new familiar faces, delve deeper into nature of origins, unravel a web of structures. Continuation. Yeah, okay, cool. Not much. New archetype armors. Okay, we're gonna look at a few stuff there. All right, but first, let's go according to the post itself. Next up, we have the DLC, The Lost Harvest. This is a paid DLC. Now, this is interesting. Basically, right now is there is a carrier crash lander. You need to investigate and stuff. So, why they introduce a new vehicle? That's the question. There needs to be a purpose for all the vehicles in the game, right? At least one specialized or one purpose for the vehicle. At the moment, the sand bike is severely, right, underutilized once you unlock the buggy, and especially when you unlock your ornithopter. The moment you got your orni, everything is like you don't really need it. The buggy still has its use because you can use it to mine, and yeah, that's it. Sandbike is question mark. In fact, even if you unlock the ornithopter, right now the scout and the assault, it's kinda, there's no really big difference other than transportation, storage, capacity, and that's about it. Yeah, because I think there are some people says the scout should just be just pure scout, no weapons, whatnot. Whereas the assault, that's where you put your rockets and what. Yeah, so again, we need a distinctive role for the vehicles. So for example, certain areas you only can access using your sand bike. Perfect. That is perfect, straight up. And yeah, that's it. Okay, so that's one big question for me. And the new vehicle is called the Treadwheel, right? Complete with its own unique animation and tier upgrades. These vehicles. See, again, if this is not a cosmetic, this is completely new vehicle. So it really, really needs a purpose. Like, for example, maybe the Treadwheel is great for dunes. Then what about the sand bike? Again, I don't really have an answer. I probably can craft a little bit later. I will put towards the end of the video where, let's see, how can we repurpose some of the vehicles out there. But you know what? I think that's going to be a too long of a video, so I'm going to go straight up. All right. Some areas can only be accessed by air. Some areas can only access by land. And then if you want to have a long stretch of a dune, like for example, there's you have to go across a desert dune, you know what? Maybe this vehicle and the sand bike is the pick. Okay, that's it. All right, next up, DLC available for $12.99. This is in US dollars. Season pass is $24.99, which includes the Lost Harvest DLC and 2 more major DLC. Personally speaking, season pass is the best value, but at the same time, a lot of company has been kinda, right? I'm gonna say this out, not for Dune Awakening, but in general. Most company, the moment they have season pass exclusive, they try to push as much as they can. And some developers out there, they are a little predatory, right? They purposely cut out some nice side quests and whatnot and just put it into DLC, which I don't like, okay? Personally, I don't like that. But with that being said, season pass is the general go-to. So if you own a deluxe and ultimate, it is part of it already. And I got the ultimate, right? I tried. Deluxe, all right? For those who are new to the game, deluxe, that's all you need. Okay, so Lost Harvest, what do we have? New Treadwheel vehicle, 3 Imperial testing station. You know what? I think this is the best way to do it. To get into the Imperial testing station, either you travel by foot or only by this vehicle or the sand bike. Since this is a paid DLC, so only this vehicle to put it this way, but people will scream that's not fair, right? That's true. So this or the sand bike. Maybe this Imperial testing station is in a desert filled with worms. So if you travel with anything else, you're gonna get eaten up. And then what about flight? Maybe there's a desert that, oh, you know what? This is great. A storm just goes above a certain height. Maybe they can do it, maybe not, I don't know. Yeah, we need a flight restriction zone. Okay, we need a flight restriction zone, especially in the story mode. Okay, next up, 5 base decoration, cool. Dune man building pieces, great. 2 armor skins, nice. 4 weapon skins, oh ho. Oh ho, you know what? I like this part. And we get a new emote, which is nice. Sweet. Sweet. So we get some cool cosmetic, more base building. This is, like I said, in general, most of the cosmetic is behind DLC for Conan Exile, except for one particular expansion that is a paid expansion, so that's okay. But like I said, I will cross-check with Conan Exile, right? It is going to be a side-to-side comparison, so this is normal. Good. As in everything else except for the story. So this round they put a story behind a DLC. All right, cool. Cool. And we want to see how I want to probably I will record. You know what? For this storyline, I will record it. Yep, since it's a paid DLC. Okay, I will record and put it onto my channel. Whereas the free update, I will let you guys enjoy. Next up, so we have chapter 2 free update. The story continues. That's nice. Character recustomization, Suk Doctors and debate. Yeah, Bin Tylex has been have methods to reshape. So I want to say, hopefully we get a small little short explanation you know what? Put a one story quest. I would say the best way to do it, one story quest. Contracts. This is the part where I need to talk a little bit. We need more, at least a contract that is either a weekly reset contract type. Because right now, after playing the game from launch, it is boring once you finish up the whole entire story that is made available for you. I'm gonna say the deep desert is not for everyone. In fact, I would say even I, okay, do go to the deep desert to do all the small little raid, not say raids. I cannot use the word raids because we don't have a proper raid in the game yet. Basically skirmishes, skirmishes and resource collecting in the deep desert. And I can easily say it's boring, right? I could not stay in the deep desert for more than that. Yeah, I could not stay for like 2-3 hours. I could not. I can only go for like one short session, get some spice, do some imperial testing run, and that's it. That's it. Yeah, the deep desert right now, I won't say it's a problem. It's a good thing that the team introduced. Don't get me wrong, right? The deep desert is the best concept and execution so far for the team for this type of survival MMO, right? Because you can easily update the deep desert without destroying not say concept, without destroying too many things. It's made in a way where you can easily do updates, weekly updates for sure. However, it is empty. This is the part where I would say that the team needs to break the lore a little bit, right? Just break it. There are some great ideas coming up from the community, so I hope the developers listen and see how they want to implement it. Because I think faction wars is one of the key things to make the deep desert a little bit more dynamic. Yeah, without faction wars, it's gonna be, yeah, there's no, because right now PvP has been okay. Before we go to that part, player behavior is a problem, okay? Because player behavior will dictate the gameplay of a sandbox. Now, with that being said, the current PvP for the deep desert has been reduced to just ganking. Me versus a bunch of farmers in general, and we just rain rockets. That's the problem. The problem is not about the ganking part. The problem is about everyone in the top tier with rockets. They will gang. We don't have vehicle warfare. We don't have a base versus base. We don't have a proper base raiding. We have offline raiding in general. So it's mainly a negative PvP behavior the way I see it. So the fastest way, the easiest way to implement a PvP in the deep desert that everyone has been talking about in general, faction wars, right? Harkonnen versus Atreides, straight up the easiest way to do it, right? This is a direct copy from whatever team games you can think of, like Team Fortress, Battlefield. In fact, I will use Battlefield because there's one great idea is that you have two factions and your goal is to capture the flag or destroy the base. Right? No, it's like capture the flag, but you also can destroy the base. So it's like that. And then at the same time, you want to make that version, that deep desert, as an instance. So basically, anyone from any server can just hop in. That's the key thing, right? And then what do you gain when you win? Okay, so the rewards, everyone has different pitch. Like some people will say your server will get this, your server is part of the Landsrod. For now, I don't know how to reward for those because if you play usually like Call of Duty, Battlefield, there is no reward at the end of the day except for unlocking cosmetic stuff. So maybe that's that, right? You can lock out some armors for PvP. Same goes with this type of like hairstyles, tattoo, vehicle skins, maybe. All right. So that's that. That's one small little thing. Unfortunately, for this free update, we don't have anything for the deep desert just yet, right? Because I read some of these things. You know what? We definitely need some contracts in the deep desert. We do need some contracts for people to get into the deep desert. And then you can split, right? Some contracts are PvP based, as in you need to go to a PvP area, not literally PvP. And you know what? You can also make some contracts that is PvP based, but most likely people will abuse. Most likely. Okay. So anyway, that's that. All right. We definitely need to get more PvE contracts, at least contract that will renew every week. So it gives people a little bit more things to do, either on Haga Basin or DD. I would say have contracts that people needs to visit the PvE area of the deep desert. I think the deep desert really needs a PvP area, a dedicated PvP area, which right now we have a nice spot, but I think it's a little bit too big. Just a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. But I think for the deep desert, the PvEs, as much as the PvE area of the deep desert, I think it's just nice. It's just there's no purpose other than farming spice and tier 6 items and schematics. Okay, so hopefully the contracts will change a little bit. Hopefully we get more weekly resets if we want to. And of course, we got more dynamic encounters. I think we need more. We definitely need more dynamic encounters. In fact, if we can get contracts and dynamic encounters cooperate or integrate each other, perfect. I would love that, okay? That's for sure. And last but not least, we have new hairstyle tattoos, archetype armors, which is great. 5 new armor sets to represent each skill tree. This is a good step forward, all right, in my opinion. All right, give people more customization, and it's under the free update. All right, so that's that. Free trial. So we have free trial started on, let's see, until, oh no, today. That means yesterday. Yesterday until August 24. You get 10 hours of gameplay, which is a lot. Okay. Unfortunately, I would easily say that probably 2 to 3 hours is content. The other 7 hours is grinding. Unfortunately, if you start from the tutorial, okay, most likely it is, yes. So 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours is content. The rest is just grinding. Okay. That's that. The only inaccessible areas are Arakin, Hardcore Village, Deep Dead. Yeah, that's for sure. This is definitely the early stage of the game. Okay, next up. In-game event changes are coming to Arrakis, more the thing. Before Chapter 2 arrives, you will experience a new conflict that leads to the major update. Nice, very, very nice. Developer upstream, live stream. Alright, so cool. And for those who like me, sometimes I do not know. I forgot to check. I forgot. There is Twitch drops. Oh my goodness. I missed one set of the Observer set, which is, it's annoying a little bit right now because the set that I missed had some cool pieces for my base building. Okay. With that, we're gonna end with this soundtrack vinyl pre-order now live. Alright, so the full Dune Awakening vinyl soundtrack, including 2 bonus tracks, is now available for pre-order. This is mainly a what you call it, a physical item. And do we get a digital? I don't remember. I think we have, right, a digital version. If I bought the ultimate and I don't have a digital version, I'm a little bit upset. But this is a vinyl, right? This is a physical item, so that's it. All right, that's all I have for you. Yeah, let's look at the vinyl. School vinyls. Sweet, very, very nice. Very, very nice. Ooh, exclusive edition. How much does it cost? Did not say anything. Boo. Boo. All right, developer update. We're gonna end with this since we have a lot of updates. This update is yeah, we need to look at this as well. All right, roadmap. All right, so monthly, yeah. So basically, the team will tweak this in generally the deep desert stuff on players' behavior. All right, so we have chapter 2, we have chapter 3, revamp endgame and more. Okay, interesting. Chapter 4 to be revealed, and then 2026 we will see what it goes. Chapter 2, it says main story continues, dynamic encounters, new deep desert layouts, okay, and that's that. Why they did not put this on the previous update post? Not a big deal. Not a big deal. All right, so September, so the Lost Harvest, we get vehicles, decoration. January, March, okay, so it looks like the next DLC is slotted for next year, which is fair enough, right? Every quarter they release once. That's great. Raiders of the Broken Lands, interesting. Cosmetic, so we have cosmetic. Interesting. Not really, not much here. I don't know why they want to put the word cosmetic. Just put a quick little description like the water walls. This is nice. Water is life. Water is shape of family. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool. This is interesting. This is interesting. The last bit, right? Fighting for the control of the polar caps of Arrakis. Do we get an instance when we visit the North and South Pole thingy? Will we get a new biome that is not too deserty? Or actually Dune is all desert. No. We need this is the part where the team can break out a little bit, right? Make a little bit of desert oasis kind of thingy thing, but you know what? I'll let the team cook for this. And with that, that's the end for this video. Yeah. Let's see. There's a lot of things here right now, but I'm not going to go through most of them. Yeah. Let's see. Improve player login, vehicle salvaging system, cobalt paste. Yeah, so this one is done already. Instant deep desert loot. Yeah, so for now, not a big deal. Like some of these things are cool and great. I will wait for the official what do you call this, fixes for the deep desert when we get our DLC, when we get our chapter 2 free update, because that's where most likely they will paste, not paste, they will announce the changelog, and I hope there's something good about it. All right, and that's it. That's all I have for you for Dune Awakening. It is exciting. I'm skeptical for one or two things, but that's okay. That's great. In general, I am hyped. Definitely, I'm hyped for the changes. Not say changes, for the DLC story. Okay, sadly, it's a DLC story. With that, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and help this channel grow. I will see you again in the next Dune Awakening video.